2 has entered the podcast.
Welcome back, people, to Player 2 has entered the podcast, that podcast about video games, nerd stuff, and two friends catching up for the week. I am your co-host, Michael, a.k.a. MC Paperstacks, and with me, as always, is my co-host with the co-most,
Derek, a.k.a. Full Metal Merc, and we're back for another great episode.
Yeah, I'm really excited this week, Derek, because with us this week, we have the official curator of the Fallout Museum, Vault 74, Overseer, Alexander. Welcome.
Woo! Hi, man. I'm really glad to be here. It's really cool. I wanted it for a long time, and now it's finally the time to be here in the awesome podcast of you two.
Oh, man, I can't wait to get into it. Podcasts never change.
That's a really original one.
I know, no one ever makes that joke.
But it's a really good one, though.
Thank you. So just to introduce our listeners to who you are and what you're all about, you are a curator, like I said, of a Fallout museum. Where are you located at, Alex? And tell us a little bit about your museum.
I am located in the Netherlands, in Europe. I have the one and only official Fallout fan museum in Europe, as far as I know. I already collected Fallout for a long time, and when I had a lot of collectibles in my collection, I was running out of space, so that was a problem. A problem we all know as a collector, probably.
Oh, yeah.
At that moment, I had the opportunity to get a room for myself, a big room, and I was like, I want to show my collection to all the Fallout fans out there. And how am I going to do that? I can just start a usual Instagram or a TikTok account or something like that. But I wanted to go further than that. That's when I thought, how badass would it be to start a Fallout museum?
Extremely badass. How long has the museum been open?
The museum has been opened in February 2021, so in a few months I can go for the 1 year anniversary of the Fallout Museum.
That's insane. I actually didn't know it was that young. It's so big already. You have so much stuff.
Yeah, I had a lot of stuff before I started the museum, and every week items are joining in the collection. It never stops.
That's impressive. That really is. Yeah, we discovered you because obviously you do have a TikTok channel and you show off a lot of pieces in the TikTok, and it's a lot of fun to see. What's the most recent, most impressive piece that you've acquired?
Most recent or most impressive? Because those two are definitely separate from each other.
Yes, do both.
Oh my lord. Most recent, let's see. The package I opened 2 days ago, I acquired a Vault Boy puppet. Like, you can put on your hand, and you can put your fingers in the Vault Boy's hands, and the other fingers in his head, and you can move it around like a puppet show.
Nice. That's
really cool. And the most impressive piece, you mean for my whole collection?
Yeah, what's the thing you're like, wow, how do I have this?
My lord. That can be a few items, because I have a few items I'm really proud of. I do have the first bobblehead ever made. The first series of bobbleheads ever made. That's from the E3 in 2008 when Fallout 3 was releasing. I also have the first real Nuka-Cola bottle, even before Fallout 3 in 2007. There was made a series of Nuka-Cola bottles. Those were specific for developers that were working on Fallout 3 for like a bonus. And that bottle is one of the most expensive and rare items in the collection.
That's impressive. Wow. Yeah. That's like getting a piece of the set from like a popular movie. That's cool.
yeah, that's one of the things I was really happy about to get. And I got that only a few months back because I was really lucky. I was just looking on my local eBay. Some guy posted a collectible I was searching for quite some time. That's called the Simtech 1000 for Fallout. I don't know if you know the Simtech 1000, but that's also an item that was only given out at E3 2008. It's a Viewmaster, you know that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Viewmaster. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a Viewmaster with the first 6 screenshots from Fallout 3.
Wow.
So I was looking for that, and he was posting that on the local eBay. And I was like, someone that has that item, that specific item, he needs to have more, because it's a really rare and expensive item. So I contacted him, and he only placed that item online at that time. So I was like, hey man, Fallout Museum. I told him a lot about it. He was really hyped already. And he was like, hey, I have some more stuff. I will send you some pictures. Now, okay. I received the pictures and I was looking. And immediately I was like, oh damn, this is going to hurt my wallet a lot. Because he was apparently a guy that worked for Bethesda back in 2008 as a forum moderator. So he worked also in the time for Fallout 3. And he got some items sent to the Netherlands from the United States. And all those items he kept in moving boxes in his garage. So those items were like stored for over 10 years. And now he needed money and he was going to sell it. So I was like, I want that, I want that, I want that, I want that.
Wow.
That was a lot of money, but it was totally worth it. Because like 4 or 5 of those items are items I think I'm never going to find again. And now I got them all in one set. So it was insane. One of the biggest pickups I did in a long time.
You have the spirit of a thrifter. That the way you're talking, that's how Derek talks. He thrifts for a living. And what's one of the things you tell me, Derek? Hey, if somebody's got some, ask if they have any more.
Right, exactly. You always got it. The power of the
always
ask.
The power of the ask. That's impressive. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Those items also include the bottle of Nuka-Cola I just talked about, the Simtech 1000 Viewmaster, first bobblehead, and also, do you know the Fallout 3 Collector's Edition? Like the lunchbox with the bobblehead and the art book. And
Yeah, I remember that.
yeah, the guy had the sleeve that goes around the lunchbox, but that sleeve was signed by Todd Howard. And he also had the Fallout 3 official guidebook, still sealed. And one that was not sealed anymore, but the one that wasn't sealed also had the signature of Todd Howard on it. He also got those as like a bonus present from his colleagues in America for like, hey, you're doing a good job there in the Netherlands.
Wow.
So
it's
it's
2 pieces signed by Todd Howard in one haul.
yeah,
Wow.
not 1, but 2. I was so happy to found it. And a few times later, like 2 months later, he emailed me. And he was like, hey, I found a poster for Fallout 3, like the original poster, with the power armor on it. Mm-hmm. And he was like, that's also signed by Todd Howard. I will just send it to you. I was like, oh, damn. Sure, go ahead.
Very cool.
So I have 3 items that are signed by Todd Howard.
Oh, well, that's amazing. That's amazing. And the museum itself, at this point, how large is it?
Do you mean like the measurements of the museum?
Sure.
Or
Like
items.
give us a picture of the number of items and the amount of space it currently takes up. Give us an idea.
If I have to give it a measurement, I think it's like 4 by 4 meters. So I don't know how that's compared to what you use in America.
Okay.
We use meters and you use another.
Well, we use feet, but I mean meters. Feet. We can picture in our head what a meter is.
Okay.
I remember when I was in school, a teacher pointed to a door and she goes, "That's pretty much a meter," and I was like, "Okay."
Well, that's an amount of items. If I have to make a guess, I have everything documented, every single piece in my museum, and at the moment it goes over 600 items.
Wow. And just based off what you've been mentioning, these items are, many of them are rare and very hard to find, or one of a kind.
Quite of them really rare and hard to find. I also have the more common pieces like the Funko Pops, the Funko Mystery Minis, the bobbleheads, all the games, board games, and that most pieces of merchandise. But there also are one-of-a-kind items and a lot of collector's items in here. One of them, which I am most proud of, is one I'm using right now, and that's my Nuka-Cola Fallout PC case.
Nice.
With the Nuka-Cola girl on it. So that's amazing.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. And the museum, it sounds like it's growing every day.
Yep.
It also sounds like it's pretty popular too. Do you have any future plans for the museum? I mean, looking ahead, what do you see the museum becoming or growing into?
What I would really like, but I don't know if that's going to happen any day, is at the moment the museum is called the Fallout Fan Museum. And it would be amazing if I can make an official museum out of it, deleting the word fan from it. Because the only reason why there is the word fan in the name is because of copyrights.
I see. And have you, I mean, obviously you've been in contact with former employees or people who've worked on the game. Have you been in contact with Bethesda on an official level or been recognized by Bethesda in any way during the life of this museum?
Yes, I have a lot of contact with the community manager from the Netherlands, from Bethesda Netherlands. I also got a present from Bethesda. They also been here. They shoot an item for the Bombs Drop Day a few months back. Yeah, and the big vault boy behind me, the life size, I got that as a present from them.
That's amazing.
Oh, nice.
And with your contacts with them, is there any kind of roadmap to becoming official, or is that look obtainable? Do you know the steps that you would need to take to get there?
I talked about it, but it's a really hard thing to do because of the copyrights and the things. Because if I delete the word fan, that should indicate for people the museum is an official Bethesda museum. Yeah, I'm not working for Bethesda in any way. We just have a lot of contact, and yeah, we do a lot of things for together. I get things from him. I help him with some items. I don't know if it's possible, but if it is possible in any way, it will definitely happen in the future.
Well, I hope that with the success of your TikTok and your social media and the museum itself, and more people that learn about it, and as it grows, that this can become a reality for you, because you definitely deserve it. The amount of work that you're putting into this museum and the pieces that you've already acquired in such a short time, it's nothing short of impressive. And I'm really glad that you decided to come on the show and talk to us about it, because this is probably one of the coolest things I've ever seen a fan do. It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm really dedicated.
Yes, you are.
That's one thing, that's for sure. But yeah, it's just my love for Fallout started back in 2008 when Fallout 3 released. I never really got into the original Fallout games like Fallout 1 and Fallout 2. Maybe you did, because I think you two are a little older than me. You probably played the original Fallout, I think.
Yeah, a little bit, but I gotta admit that I actually played Fallout 3 first. So I wasn't, at the time that Fallout 1 and 2 were out, I wasn't big into PC gaming. I retroactively went back because of my interest garnered from Fallout 3.
Yeah, Fallout 3 is also where my love started. That's just, that game was insane.
I think that's where everybody started.
I distinctly remember stepping out of that vault for the first time, and it's not like I haven't played open world games prior to that, but it hit different. I think it was my first kind of Bethesda open world experience. It was before I even played Oblivion, I believe. I can't remember.
Oh, damn. Yeah, it's because Oblivion was there before Fallout
It was there
3.
before, wasn't it? Maybe I did. I don't recall, but all I know is I walked outside and the sun was really bright. My eyes adjusted, which is a cool effect that they did. And I looked around at the wasteland, and it was just like, okay,
have fun.
Go. And I felt this overwhelming
Nice.
sense of like impending adventure that I hadn't felt again until I played, I think, Breath of the Wild. It was that long before something hit me the same way. And I was just so excited. And I played the shit out of Fallout 3. Like, all of the DLC, I was obsessed. So
Same.
yeah. I mean, you've seen, I got a few Fallout pieces here at my house from the TikTok videos, my little Fallout poster. I got the special edition, so I have a Pip-Boy from the Fallout 4. I got the original PS2 game that came out. I think it's called Brotherhood of Steel. Stuff like that. Nowhere near your collection, of course, but I could consider myself a fan.
Yeah, I think, if you played a lot of it and you have some of the merchandise, there's just so many Fallout fans out there. And that's also why I wanted to be able to show everyone the pieces of merchandise, because even though I have over 600 pieces in the collection, that's not even 50% probably of what's out there in Fallout merchandise. There's so much merchandise for Fallout. It's insane.
Yeah. And we salute you and thank you for your service.
Ad Victorium.
Right on. So let me ask you, what is your favorite Fallout game? And to pair with that, it sounds like Fallout 3 was your first. You can tell us the story of how you discovered it and kind of how you fell in love with it.
I can do that. It all started back when, I don't know how you call that in the United States, but of course we have the holidays here. And then at 5 December you have, I don't know if you...
December. I don't know if we celebrate anything on the 5th of December. I mean, not me personally.
Saint Nicholas. Do you know anything about Saint Nicholas?
In the popular zeitgeist here in the United States, we've turned Saint Nicholas into Santa Claus and then just combined him with Christmas. So we don't separate the two.
Yeah, we have it separated.
Oh, okay.
And that's at 5th of December. Then is his birthday here in Europe.
Oh,
and
interesting.
Then we celebrate.
Okay.
And that's when I was younger. It was back in 2008, so I was 12 years old. I wasn't supposed to play Fallout 3 because Peggy 18. But my brother, he just got the PlayStation 3 for his birthday. I think PlayStation 3 released also in 2008 because Fallout 3 was a release title with a PlayStation 3.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, the moment he got it, he hooked it up to the TV and he turned it on. So I was watching him playing Fallout 3 and it was just insane. It already started when I found the game really interesting when he was in the vault and it was his birthday. You were getting bullied by Butch and the robot was fucking up your cake and it's just there. It already started there in the vault, and from there he was going to play, he was leaving the vault, and yeah, I also had the same feeling like you did with the going outside. When you enter that door and you step into the wasteland, it was insane for that time. It was a really big world. And my brother instantly opened the map to look at how big the world was. And he was zooming out and I was like, holy damn, that's big! It was really funny. And he was just going to play and I was like a little bad guy. So when my brother was going to school and I wasn't, of course I turned on the PlayStation and I was going on his save file because it wasn't easy to go on own save file with Fallout 3.
Y'all should have had a 360. It was much easier to go on your own save file on 360. But continue.
Yeah, PlayStation 3 didn't have that feature.
Yeah.
But although it did had it, but I didn't know about it because PlayStation 3 was new and I wasn't that smart back then. So I was playing on his save file and I fucked up his karma because he was good karma and I went to bad karma. And I was like in a whole other place and I blew up Megaton. And it was,
You did it.
He did the thing.
He did the thing. I didn't blow up Megaton, I think, till like my 4th playthrough. I never had the heart to do it.
Yeah, I hated Lucas Sims so back then.
Damn.
And
He's like,
I wanted him to die.
Sheriff.
Yeah, I was like, I want to be the sheriff of the town, but I couldn't do that. So I was like, okay, then I just will blow up your town, and I will get a lot of money for it. But that's when I started playing Fallout there, and my brother, he was really mad, of course. So 1 year later, I bought the Fallout 3 Collector's Edition, and that's the Collector's Edition I still have till this day for the PlayStation 3. I never got rid of it. And during the years, I collected some Fallout memorabilia. Not a lot, but just, hey, there was a Funko Pop, there was a minifigure, you know? I had like 20, 30 items, maybe a few shirts. Back in 2018, I think, 17, 18, I started getting a little more into Bethesda collectibles. I also love the Elder Scrolls. Fallout and the Elder Scrolls, especially Skyrim, really changed my life when I was in high school.
Skyrim's
Because I was being bullied and all that kind of stuff, and Skyrim just put me out of that world and placed me in another world. That was my high school time. But both those games meant a lot to me, so I was collecting both games, statues from Elder Scrolls and merchandise. When we entered 2020, I think, I was like, yeah, it's really fun to collect both, but I want to focus on one main thing. So I was like, okay, I have to choose. Am I going to collect Fallout or am I going to collect Elder Scrolls? And the main reason why I chose Fallout is my love for Bethesda started there. And there's also a lot more Fallout merchandise than Elder Scrolls merchandise.
Okay.
If I was going to collect Elder Scrolls, I would have been done a long time ago. But Fallout, I won't be done in the near future, because there's really, really rare items and stuff. But that's the fun thing. It's the hunt, and probably you also know that as a drifter. Yeah, and then when I made that decision, I was going crazy with buying Fallout stuff. It was going in a really high pace. So, and now we're here with like over 600 items Fallout related.
Started from the bottom, now we're here. All right, Alex.
Exactly.
As a fan, I had one fun question for you, because I'm really curious what your answer would be. In the Fallout games, they're broken up by missions, stories, side missions, that type of thing. Some of them are really interesting. Some of them are okay. I wanted to know, straight from you, the curator of Vault 74, what are your favorite Fallout missions or stories?
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot. I want to know, like, the standout moments for you, like the missions that you would recommend if somebody were to go in and, like, do this first.
You are making it hard for me.
I gave you this question early.
I know, but I was thinking about it. There's so many amazing things to do in Fallout. That's like asking for my favorite candy. I
I'm going to say it's blowing up Megaton.
But yeah. Is it blowing up Megaton?
I do have to say, maybe it is, because I just like the detail. Because when you go back to Megaton, spoiler alert, you can still find the girl, Moira Brown, from the general store. But she's a ghoul indeed. And that I was going back. I was like, oh, maybe let's see how Megaton looks. And I was like, oh, there's nothing left. But then she appears from out nowhere and, hey, hello, I'm a ghoul now. And I was like, am I going to tell her I was it? Or shouldn't I? But it's one of the first missions I did. And that's really iconic and nostalgic. Am I allowed to answer over multiple Fallout games? So also 76?
Yes, please. 76, 4, New Vegas, whatever. It's fine, yeah.
I really liked the last DLC, Wastelanders, in Fallout 76, with the new storyline, with the raiders and with the settlers. I think it was really cool that you had to break into a vault to get a certain kind of treasure. I won't spoil too much. I did really like that questline also because you could choose a side. So you had to go with the settlers, or are you going with the raiders? And I did both, of course, because I had 2 accounts and I wanted to know how the other line was going to end.
Sure. And
those 2 lines are really separate from each other, so that's really cool. That's a quest line I really like. I also really like the Brotherhood of Steel / Enclave quest lines. I just really like the Brotherhood of Steel. Let's think about this question for a while, because it's a hard question. In the meanwhile, why don't you tell me one of your favorite missions?
Oh man, I just love being told that I have to go defend the base in Fallout 4. Like, oh, it's being raided, huh? Gotta go defend that. I love that. Let me stop everything I'm doing to go help you out.
Another settlement needs your help.
Yeah.
I'll place it on your map.
Yeah, pretty much.
Our best friend, Preston Garvey.
There in Fallout 3, you run into a character from the previous Fallout games. It's this tree that came alive. Do you remember that?
Oh, that was the Tranquility Lane questline.
Yeah,
right?
Tranquility Lane. I love that. I thought that whole thing was hilarious and weird and really in the spirit of the original games. Because there is a bit of a divide. There are people that are bigger fans of Fallout 1 and 2 and don't like Fallout 3, and then in reverse. And obviously there are some shared themes, but that to me, just the writing and the zaniness of it kind of felt like original Fallout, and I thought that was a cool nod. I really enjoy going to the more dangerous parts of Fallout map and then running into Deathclaws. The first time I ran into a Deathclaw, I was like, oh my god.
I love the Deathclaw. The Deathclaw is just so scary, and I also have his skull hanging on my wall at my bar.
Of course you do. It's a fantastic design. Fantastic. And then I'll give you one more. In New Vegas, there's the quest line where you can get the Nightkin companion. I think her name is Granny or something. She's like an old woman, but she's a Nightkin. She's like, oh, don't worry about Grandma. I just need to take my pills. And if she's in a fight with you, she can go berserk and just go wild, and you have to like stay away from her or she'll hurt you. And there's this whole storyline where there are mutants in Fallout in New Vegas that are called the Nightkin. They were experimented on or forced to use stealth boys, but they were unstable, and it made them all schizophrenic. So just going through that and trying to help them like fix their ailment, that was really interesting.
Nice. What I also really like is not really a quest or some sort, but one of my favorite thing also about Fallout and Bethesda games in general is the random encounters, because there are a lot in those games. Things some people never saw, because it's really rare to get across it. And that's one thing I just love to see in Fallout games. Like in Fallout 76, for example, something that was really funny. I don't know if you encountered it, but it's the... let me think of the name. Oh yeah, it is a Protectron you can come across, and it's an Insult-O-Bot. Have you encountered him?
Oh, have I encountered the Insultobot? No, I haven't played a whole lot of Fallout 76. I've been holding off just because of its poor reception initially. And maybe we can talk a little bit more about that and what we're playing, since you've been playing Fallout 76, because I have questions.
Yeah, of course.
But no, I can't speak on... That's the one Fallout game I can't speak on too much, because I haven't really played a whole lot of it.
Yeah, it's just really funny. Yeah, you can come across it every now and then, and he's just like dissing you and making your mama is so fat jokes and that kind of and always when he insulted you, you will just get a letter in your inventory with, you just got insulted by the Insultobot. Just,
nice.
Those things, I just always love those encounters, because it's so random what you can come across in the games.
For sure. Awesome. All right. Well, again, we're going to make sure that our listeners have a chance to find your stuff online, what you're all about, and more information about the museum at the end of the episode. So make sure, everybody, that you stick around for that, and we'll have links in the show notes. And Alex, if you would be so kind and gracious as to come along with us, we're going to plow through the episode, catch up for the week, talk about the video games we played, and have a good time. You up for that?
Of course, always.
Awesome. All right, Derek. I mentioned on a previous episode about Game Pass. Now, we both have Game Pass on Xbox, and you may be familiar with the concept, Alex. Subscription service, you're able to play a slate of games on your Xbox for a certain amount of time, and you pay a monthly subscription. Some games come in, some leave. It's kind of like the Netflix of gaming.
I think I have it on my computer as well. I had it for a few months as a gift when I bought my computer.
Nice.
And now I can play like Forza Horizon. I installed that, and now I can play that for free.
Oh, that game is fantastic, by the way.
Yeah? Is it a really good game, Horizon 5?
Fantastic, yes.
Okay, I should play it more, so.
Love it. You should. It's amazing. We actually made a car themed after the podcast.
You really have to send me a picture of that.
I will. I'll send you a picture. I think we even put it as the pick on one of our episodes, but I'll make sure I get you a pic. I had mentioned that when the games were removed, they still are on your Xbox. So I had some Final Fantasy games that I had downloaded on Game Pass, and then I think Final Fantasy VIII and a few others in particular left. And so I told you, I was like, but you can still play them if they're downloaded. You're like, are you sure? Well, yeah, I went this week to test, and I went to try to play them, and they were like, are you sure you own this game? And I was like, no! So apparently, and it seems like this happens pretty often when they do day one indie games, like Haven is already off Game Pass.
Really?
Yeah. Which I actually am going to buy that probably because I liked it so much. But just a heads up, if you really dig a game that you're playing on Game Pass, make sure that you either go ahead and finish it, or you plan to buy it, or you check to see how much longer it's going to be on the service, because they usually put out a release on which games are going to leave every month. A little warning on having Game Pass that I'm learning as a new user of it.
Yeah.
But how was your week this week, Derek?
Oh, man, my week was terrible.
Oh.
Me and Nora have had the flu all week, and we're just now starting to get over it. As you can tell, I'm a bit stuffy and sniffly and all that good stuff. But she's been out of school all week. I haven't been able to do any thrifting. Like, it's been...
It's just been a week in stasis.
Yeah. However, she did go to school yesterday for the first time.
Okay.
This week. And me and Vicky went and saw Spider-Man No Way Home. It was amazing. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. Thank you for that. I'm going to see it I'm going to see it on Wednesday.
Stay off the internets.
I'm trying so hard. I keep
Listeners.
seeing stuff left and right. Yeah, no.
Do you keep seeing stuff?
Well, there's like thumbnails for YouTube
No.
and people are trying to tweet. I haven't seen anything. I think there's one thing I have seen that my brain just led me to a conclusion that I think I have been spoiled on. However, it's a thing I already think I knew.
Okay.
So I won't say it because I don't want to spoil it for anybody else. But we'll talk about it later.
Do you want to tell it off record?
Yeah, maybe offline I'll talk to you about it.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I'm super excited to see it. So we'll see how it goes with the MCU. And we both saw Hawkeye, and it was a pretty big episode this week. But let's save that for next week because Alex, I know that you do not get down with the MCU TV shows, so we'll save that for later. But you should, get Disney Plus. Get it. There's some good shows on there. You should watch Mandalorian. Mandalorian, I think, if you're into Fallout and that kind of Western aesthetic, oh my goodness, Mandalorian is so good. Yeah.
Okay, well, I will.
Right on, man.
Because you tell me, I will try it.
You should. I think you would dig it. I really do.
I will send you a picture as proof.
Right on. Give me a picture of you drinking Nuka-Cola with a thumbs up with the TV on in the background.
Speaking of Nuka-Cola, can I open my can of my drink?
Please do.
You can use this sound if you want.
All right.
Ooh.
That's the sound of a fresh Nuka-Cola opening.
Delicious. All right. I hope you got some rat away. So... Speaking of Nuka-Cola and things, you've been playing some video games lately, Alex. Let us know what you've been playing lately.
To be completely honest, I played a few games. Of course, I play Fallout 76 almost every day because, Fallout Museum, Fallout, you have to play it.
I get you.
And one funny thing, I recently bought a virtual reality set, the HTC Vive Pro. I think you know that name, maybe. Mm-hmm. And I bought a really funny game. Like, it's the first game I played. I have Fallout Virtual Reality and Skyrim VR to my game library. But the first game I bought and played on my VR headset was Angry Birds VR.
Okay. Are you the bird? How's that work?
Right.
No, it's a cheap game, but it's so much fun. Really, if you have a VR headset, it's like you have the same original Angry Birds like you always did, but you can choose different positions where you can stand and where you can shoot from. And of course, you have to use your hands with the controllers to pick up a bird and stretch the catapult to the back
I love that.
and let it go. I will stream it soon, so
it's
I will send you a link.
No, yeah. So you're like playing with Angry Birds like they're toys. Like you're reaching over and picking one up and putting it in the catapult and stretching it and letting it go.
Yeah, indeed.
I love it when they do that in VR. That's so cool. I played this kind of strategy game or like a farming sim, but it was with dinosaurs, like a dinosaur ranch. And you just reach in with your hands and kind of pick things up and put them where you want them. And it's like playing with toys. Like it's such a wild feeling in VR to do something like that. I love that.
Yeah, and I also played Skyrim already in VR. Man, I can't tell you how many hours I have in Skyrim. Probably over 2,000 hours.
Wow.
Easy 2,000.
Wow.
Yeah, what I told you, I was in high school and I played a lot of it. I think I saw everything you can do in Skyrim. I've seen it. But when you enter a world like Skyrim in virtual reality, it's like a whole other world. Every little thing in Skyrim, you will see more in depth because you are really... it feels like you are in Skyrim. Mm-hmm. You know, like when you have the bars and the general stores in Skyrim, they have like those signs hanging outside. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Did you never had the urge in the Skyrim where you played, you just want to tick the sign so it goes wobbly wobbly?
Yeah, like just slap it.
Yeah, and now you can do it in virtual reality.
Very cool. I played Skyrim VR because I have it for PlayStation 4. I got all the way through where you're that first kitchen you get to in the opening like scene when you're running from Alduin and you're fighting Imperial soldiers and trying to escape. I got all the way there and I couldn't handle it. I get sick in VR, unfortunately, when you're moving around 3D.
Yeah, a lot of people have that issue.
Yeah,
especially
and I know
older people.
I know. Shut up. I know.
Those are his words. Those weren't mine.
It's fine, but I know that people can get their VR legs, so to speak, like you get your sea legs, if you practice it enough. And I've tried, but the way that it makes me sick, I've never felt before. It must be what people feel like when they have vertigo. I'll start to feel sick, and if I play long enough to where I do start to feel sick, and I take the headset off, I remain feeling like that for like a day or so. So like I really suffer if I play too long in VR. And I don't know if I need to take like Dramamine or something or what I need to do. But like it is, it's intense.
You should drink some Nuka-Cola.
Yeah.
It helps.
And drink some.
No, but one thing that's for sure, and that I also experienced Skyrim in virtual reality with the PlayStation VR. The problem with the PlayStation VR is the resolution, because it's really a starter's virtual reality headset. And also because of the resolution, I play both Skyrims on the PlayStation and on the new VR. And when you have a much better resolution, you get less motion sick. I don't know why that is, although it's something I experienced, because with the PlayStation VR I couldn't play for like 10 minutes, and now I played Skyrim non-stop for 1 hour. I don't know why, but yeah, it's like that in my head.
Interesting.
I don't know. You can. If you ever visit a museum, I will let you play.
Oh my God. I may take you up on that one day. That'd be fantastic.
And take Derek with you.
Definitely. We'll come by. We'll come through the Neverlands. I don't need much of an excuse to come by and visit. I've always wanted to go. So that'd be awesome.
Well, now you can combine it.
So I have a question about Fallout 76 since you've been playing it. It sounds like nonstop pretty much since launch, right?
No, I started really, really late. I started only in 2020 with playing it.
Okay. Well, then, I mean, because it had kind of a rough launch. I mean, we don't need to cover it here. It's well known that Fallout 76 didn't exactly launch. Yeah. So from when you started up till now, there's also been improvements. I mean, what has your experience been? Do you feel like you would recommend people who have access to it on Game Pass right now, or have access to it for cheap? Should people start to play it now? I mean, what is the state of Fallout 76?
In my opinion, it's definitely a great Fallout game. It's different from other Fallout games because there is a multiplayer aspect, but you don't have to play it multiplayer, if you know what I mean. Because you will be in a world with other players. But I think that's a good thing, because all those other players playing for a long time. They also have their camps, so that's like their own little base, and you can also buy stuff at their base. And most people, a lot of the higher level players, they have a lot of stuff in for sale in their bases for not a lot of caps. So you can get some nice weapons, you can get some nice plans to build nice things in the camps. There is a nice ring to it, to the multiplayer aspect, but 90% of the times I play solo, because I just like to experience Fallout solo.
Yeah.
There are still some bugs, unfortunately, and there are quite some more buggy things than like Fallout 4 or Fallout 3. But yeah, it's a Bethesda game, so we know it's a little buggy, unfortunately. But I don't mind it. It's a really great game.
Okay.
But the only thing I thought was really annoying is when you are questing, and then it gets buggy. Because in Fallout 3 Fallout 4, I had some little bugs that were annoying, but you can fix that really easy. But I had some quests where it really didn't want to go through. You really had to left the game and start the quest over to get through that part. And that's really annoying. And also, one of the most annoying things is server lags. Like you shoot at a enemy and you know 100% sure it's going to hit, but when you shoot a bullet, the enemy is like 5 or 10 feet further away because it was lagging. That sucks a lot.
Yeah, that's what I was concerned about. So that's still persisting as an issue. I mean, I might go ahead and check it out because it sounds like it's playable, but that was my concern was I didn't want to go in and not have my solo experience, which it sounds like you can. I was concerned that with it being even more buggy, whether or not it would be playable for me. But yeah, I might actually go check it out.
I
Check
think
out them country roads.
yeah, you should definitely do it in Appalachia. And I played it a lot on the PlayStation. Now I'm playing on PC. I'm only level 10 because I started over. Because I changed from console to PC. Because most of my friends are on PC. But on the PlayStation, I went to level 120, I think. And I only, in the time to getting level 120, I think I had 3 game-breaking bugs. So it's not a lot, but yeah, those were all in quests. So then you have to log out and log back in another world.
Ugh.
And yeah, it's not cool, but you have to keep in mind to get level 120, a normal gaming pace, it will take quite a while. It's not going really, really fast.
Okay. All right.
So it's definitely playable. Yeah.
I got it. All right. Well, Derek, this week, my good friend, what you getting into?
I actually haven't played a whole lot of games this week, but I did manage to beat Shin Megami Tensei 5
Impressive.
That's cool.
on Switch.
That's nice. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. It took about 65 hours to get through all the way.
All right.
And I did a decent amount of side quests and whatnot. I think I ended up at level like 70 or so. And there are like demons that are level 90 and up that you have to be at that level to summon anyway. So there's plenty of stuff for a completionist like yourself to do.
Sounds cool. Well, what did you say overall, your experience? I mean...
Overall, I enjoy, like, the combat is the main draw. The grind and everything. That, to me, 10 out of 10. The story, I would have to give, like, a 5. It's barely serviceable. There are stakes, but they don't make you care about anything.
Yeah.
Or anyone in the game so much that you need to be like, oh. And then some characters make decisions where it's like, okay, that's okay, sure, do that.
Yeah, that's always been its weakness is
the
narrative. It's mainly a gameplay driven experience for sure. Okay.
Yeah,
well.
and I don't think it's gonna crack my top 5, but I did really enjoy my time with it. And I think if you're into JRPGs at all, you should definitely play it. It is punishing, but it rewards deep thought and strategizing. So,
okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Well, I haven't played much this week, to be honest, either. Although I have a lot, I think, on the docket for this upcoming week. And we'll talk about that with gaming news and whatnot. And it sounds like I might want to be checking out Fallout 76. But I played more Deathloop.
Okay.
Deathloop continues to be fun, but I find myself slowing down on it because of the nature of how you progress. As we talked about before, Deathloop, you're repeating the same day, and the day is split up into morning, noon, afternoon, and evening, and then those 4 gameplay segments as you go from like area to area. Some things only happen at certain times a day, but it very clearly signposts based off the clues you found what you may be able to investigate or discover when you highlight a different area of the island.
Right.
I think the issue is progress starts to kind of slow down. Like in the beginning, you're ramped up and you're discovering a bunch of stuff every run. And then eventually, in the morning, you're like, okay, what can I do? Oh, I can go and try to fight this particular visionary, was what they call them, the main people you have to defeat. Mm-hmm. Now, bear in mind, you have to defeat all of the visionaries in one day in order to break the loop, but you do want to go after them initially just to learn how to fight them and when best to fight them and their tricks, and to get their special abilities. Because when you defeat them, a visionary or Juliana, you'll get special abilities like you're warping around the map. Invisibility I got pretty early on, which is super helpful.
Yeah.
I can go invisible for a number of seconds, and it immediately increased the efficacy of my stealth, let's say.
Right.
But now I am going in and like investigating like a single room, or like I have to try to get this door open. Let me go look for the codes. And then I do, and then I leave, and then I go back in. Now I'm going to look to see if I can get this invisible thing to show, or I can sabotage this thing so a visionary goes from being here at night to being over here with this other visionary at night. it's starting to feel slower paced to me, and then
that's
it's
what
not.
I was afraid of.
Yeah, and it's not drawing me in anymore as much as it did initially. So I'm still going to try to finish it, but I have cooled way down on it. That's unfortunate. I wish that it could have kept up that pace. And maybe I'm just not knowing where to look, but maybe like signposted more clearly the steps I want to take if I'm just really hyper focused on getting the visionaries all in one place. Because it's starting to unfold that way, but it's like I'm chipping away at a big block of stone trying to find the thing on the inside, but I don't know where to start chipping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's that. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. I mean, it's Pokemon. I'm still playing that and having a good time with it. I need to climb Mount Spear to get to Dialga, but somebody in Japan traded me a shiny Dialga, so it's not as exciting.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I love shinies. Shiny
Yeah.
is just the world of collecting in Pokemon is really cool.
Yeah, it looks legit because it says it was met at Spear Pillar, but I'm wondering if they hacked it because I've seen a lot of people trading like tons of legendaries and shinies, and that always seems to happen in these games. People hack them pretty early on and then trade hacked Pokemon.
That's such a shame.
It is a shame. I wish they'd play more legitly, but whatever.
I mean,
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's pretty much what I got into this week as far as playing video games. So let's get on over to gaming news.
Who doesn't love gaming news?
That's right, Alex. Who doesn't love gaming news? I wanted to mention a couple of games that just came to Game Pass. So I think it was the Retro Runner had mentioned that he was playing D-Lit and Wonder Labyrinth. It's that Record of Lodoss War game. And I looked around and found out it actually had not released on console yet. It released on PC earlier this year, and it was dropping on consoles on December 16th. So this week, it actually dropped on Game Pass day one.
No.
Yeah. So I'm going to be checking that out because he had me sold at it's like a Metroidvania really close to Castlevania. I'm like, yes, I want to play that. And then I believe we saw footage of this game at E3 this year or some kind of games show, The Gunk. It's that third-person action game where you're on an alien planet and you're like sucking up all this like weird toxic substance with your gunk machine. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just, again, for the same reason that lawn mowing simulator appeals to me, this appeals. I'm like, oh, you get to clean up junk on an island? I'm there. So I don't know how fun it's actually going to be, but I'm keen to check it out, and I want to let other folks know if they're interested. It is on Game Pass. So,
Cool.
Nintendo Switch had an Indie World presentation this week. I don't know, did either of you catch the Nintendo Switch Indie presentation this week?
I watched it.
You did?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen that one.
Okay. Well, what did you think, Derek? Did you anything speak to you?
Pretty much the only thing is what you're about to mention.
Okay, then. One of the first games they showed was called Sea of Stars. It looks like a classic style RPG. Think Chrono Trigger or Suikoden or the Mana series.
Mm-hmm.
And it's by the same people who made The Messenger, which is like an excellent side-scrolling ninja-style game, which I think you would classify as almost a Metroidvania.
Probably.
Yeah, there's not really much to say other than the 2D art looks to be on point, and that's a game I think I want to side-eye for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, if you're interested, it's on the internet. You can check out all the other indie games they showcased. Nothing really lit me on fire in the presentation, I have to admit. So, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
But, speaking of the Switch, they did the Nintendo Switch year in review link this year to get all your Nintendo Switch stats like we did last year.
Mm-hmm.
And interesting findings for me this year. But I want to ask, Derek, you did the Switch in review. What are your stats?
Okay, so I did it for me and Vicky.
Oh, okay. The first day you played the Switch, when was that?
First day, May 13th, 2017, which I think was very close to release.
Yeah, because I think 2017 or 2016 was the year of release.
It was definitely 2017, the release.
It was? Yeah, mine was a few months later. I ended up playing Switch for the first time November 3rd.
Mm-hmm. I forget, were you apprehensive about it at first?
No, I wasn't apprehensive. I ignored it because launches are just notoriously a shit show, especially with Nintendo. And I knew I wasn't even going to get close. I think the way that I got my Switch, I was at work and not working. I was scrolling my phone. I saw this thing where it was like, there's a Switch on Amazon right now. And I was like, word? I'm getting ready to go on vacation. I think we were going to go to Mexico. And I was like, I think I want to get that. So I went to Amazon, and it was like, you can pay in, 3 or 4 or 5 installments or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, I want to do that. And then I just purchased it. Like, I just blacked out. I didn't think about the financial ramifications. I didn't think about whether or not I could afford it. I was just like,
what happened?
Switch is available. And then I woke up and I had already purchased it.
You woke up in the Matrix.
So I I was like, hey, wife, I bought a Switch, but I'm going to use my personal spending money. And it's like $99 a payment. And don't be mad at me. And she's like, it's whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. And that started my love affair. And I played Mario. I got a Switch that gave me a free Mario Odyssey download code, and I played the shit out of that pretty much the entire vacation. And that's when Ben, my son, fell in love with Mario.
Never looked back.
Nice.
It's amazing.
Okay, so played games this year.
20.
Last year?
I didn't look at last year.
I did, because it was really interesting. I played 45 Nintendo Switch games this year. Okay.
Oh wow.
But last year I played 91.
Whoa.
The PlayStation 5.
I have the screenshots.
I was going to say the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X, I think, ate my Nintendo's lunch a little bit this year. Plus, things started to open up. It was less lockdown in 2021 than it was in 2020, and that may have played some part in it. Plus, I was like full steam ahead with the podcast and Twitch streaming and everything. And we started the podcast mid-2020, so that may have something to do with it.
Yeah. Last year I played 13 games.
Okay, so you actually increased the number of games you played.
Yeah.
Okay. Look at you.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. Loving your Switch. Loving it.
I need something new to play on it.
Yeah. Playtime this year. What'd you get?
193 hours.
Okay. Last year?
58.
Okay. Increase. Nice. So again, my playtime on the Nintendo Switch this year was 554. Don't judge me. But last year it was 1,114. So again, it was cut in half. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, what did you play most this year? Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Yeah, Shin Megami Tensei 5, 65 hours. Final Fantasy 10, 46 hours. And
Love it.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Torn of the Golden Country, 20 hours.
Okay. So I'm going to one-up you on Final Fantasy 10. That's my most played game, 121 hours.
Damn.
I was going for all the extras.
121 for the whole year?
For just this year, yeah.
Those are rookie numbers.
No, for that game. For that game.
For that game. Just that game.
Oh.
No, the whole year was 554 hours, which was half of what I did last year. But no, Final Fantasy X, I played 121. Persona 5 Strikers, 98 hours. And then Diablo 3, 86 hours. Those are my top played games.
Okay, I recall my my words.
Thanks. I'm glad I got the approval, Alex. He was like, hey, man, you got to step it up. I did.
Numbers up.
Okay, so how many hours in docked mode versus handheld?
99 hours docked, 93 hours handheld.
Wow, you're even Steven on that.
Well, yeah, that's because every time the battery was dying and I wanted to keep playing, I would just play.
Of course, it was a battery issue. Oh my God. Otherwise, it'd been all handheld.
Right.
I did 373 hours in docked, and the other 181 was in handheld. So I sounds like I favor docked.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Let me share Vicky's stats.
Oh, okay.
Because I think they're going to be quite impressive.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm down to hear him.
So her day.
Oh yeah. By the way, Alex, this is his wife.
Yeah. Day one. Oh no, she's not on. I'm just.
Oh.
I'm reading her stats.
Vicky.
Day one, September 30th, 2018, when she got her first Switch. And the crazy thing is, she's had every iteration of the Switch because she's fucking spoiled.
Well, because she's married to a hotshot thrifter. So.
Yeah, like she had the original Switch, she had the version 2 Switch, she had the Lite.
Yeah.
And she
now
had
she has the OLED. She's spoiled as shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Games played 33.
Okay.
Playtime 1,340 hours.
Vicky. I love it.
Capital G. She said, I'm capital G now.
Vicky's capital G. It's official.
Oh my God. Her most played game was Animal Crossing, 560 hours.
God
Whoa.
damn. That's 300 more hours than I think that I played in 2020 for that game.
She also played Collar Malice for 139 hours and Story of Seasons, Friends of Pioneer Town for 148 hours.
Which is the best way to play a farm sim.
Right. Docked for 1 hour, handheld for 1,339.
Oh my. Okay, so doesn't do Doc very much, I see.
Nope. I was like, when she showed me the Animal Crossing, I was like, damn, no wonder you were mad you lost your data when she switched to a new Switch.
Oh, she lost her data?
Yeah, she had to start her island again.
That is rough.
Yeah. Her first island's name was Il Nana.
Yeah. Well, ill bye-bye.
Il gone now.
Ill gone now.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay.
But yeah. So yeah, she's a capital G gamer. She's out here. I don't know how we still have a marriage if she plays.
Hey, the couple that games together, stames together.
Stames
That doesn't
together.
work. The couple that plays together stays together. There you go.
Yeah, no. But I'm glad she loves it. At least she actually uses it.
Yeah, no, that's impressive.
Yeah.
That's impressive. All right, we got a few more newsy bits. There's a rumor going around from the same people who correctly predicted the announcement of Persona 4 Arena Ultimax and its release.
Mm-hmm.
There's a rumor going around that Persona 3 and 4 may be coming a new multi-platform release, including the Switch.
That would be dope.
Yeah, there was speculation it would be the Persona 3 Portable, which I don't know if I particularly like. I would prefer FES because Portable was cool because it did have some extras, but it reduced the graphics to not allow you to walk around during the day, only in the dungeons. So to me, it wasn't exactly superior. If they kept the extra character, but then combine that with FES somehow, that'd be great. But that would take some development, so I'm not sure if they could do that.
Right.
But yeah, I'm kind of excited about that. I would love to have Persona 3 and 4 on the go again.
Yeah, same. I probably won't play it just because I just feel like it's too late for me.
Oh, have you never played Persona 3?
No, I've never played Persona 3 and 4. As I've said before, I got the corrupted save data.
That's right. You never finished 4.
Yeah, I just looked up how it ended, and I was like, damn, I would have loved to see how that ended.
Yeah, I probably will. 3 is my first Persona love, so I'll probably reach out and try to get it again. So
Cool.
You had mentioned something big going on with the PS5.
Yeah, so Sony is releasing Galaxy-inspired plate covers for the PS5. They're going to have Midnight Black, Starlight Blue, Galactic Purple, Nova Pink, and Cosmic Red. And of course, they're releasing the extra controller colors to go along with those as well. The funny thing is, the company D-Brand was making their own plates, and they had sold out of them, and then Sony sued them earlier this year and told them they had to stop.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I was going to say, was it Sony releasing the plates? Not initially.
Yeah, no. On one hand, I get why they did sue them. On the other hand, I don't, because there's plenty of third-party companies that make
It's because they
items.
use their branding.
Oh,
Like they
did.
made it seem like they were PlayStation official before they actually were. That's the issue. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And also they
again,
came out with
that's
them before
Alex knows all
Sony
about
had
that.
to.
He's like, I gotta put the fen in front of here, or I'm gonna get in trouble. So, we know that copyright is nothing to mess with. So
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely
But-
not.
Yeah, the black looks so good. Oh.
The
But I'm
black
like, they're going to be
looks so
$55, and I'm also like,
Which I think
do I
is
need to
is
pay-
a lot of money for a plate.
Yeah, do I need to pay $55 to make my PlayStation black?
You know, you can
Oh,
also
right.
just buy a black spray can for $10.
Yeah, no, you can
Go
top the
ahead.
plates off and spray it down yourself. My wife is actually pretty good at that. Maybe I'll task her to do a custom.
That is true.
Get some stencils. Ooh, I'm gonna make a Lisa Frank PS5. I want it to look just like my
Nice.
folder from school. All right. Last bit of news then. Xbox actually dropped a docuseries for its console history called Power On, the Story of Xbox. They talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly, and it's a little rah-rah Xbox, but it's actually really fun to watch. You can check it on YouTube. One of the interesting things that came out of it is they started selling, I think for $25, Red Ring of Death posters.
That's what you call owning it.
Yeah, no, owning it,
Owning
like
your fuck up.
owning it and making money from it. But
Right.
I just think that's hilarious. I'm not mad at them about it. Some people were salty, but I'm like,
It's
it
so
is what it
long
is.
ago.
Yeah.
And they fixed it.
And
Like,
do you guys recall what was actually causing it?
I think it was overheating.
It was overheating. It was a heat sink issue. Bootleg fix for it was just to go in and put a penny on the CPU because apparently they were overheating and they didn't install a proper heat sink in those original Xboxes.
Yeah.
So I thought it would be fun to go around and talk about our first Red Ring of Death or our yellow, was it called Yellow Light of Death for the PS3?
Yeah.
The yellow light of death.
Yeah, we'll talk about our stories. I used to do this vacation every year around Memorial Day because we get an extra Monday off in May where we would all rent a cabin in Gatlinburg, Tennessee in the mountains. And we would take me home, oh, country roads. But we would all go up to the mountains and hang out. There's jacuzzi and like fun stuff to do. Virginia. And I brought my 360 with my Rock Band kick. y'all can't even. Country roads. I gotta admit, I can't not finish it either. But we went up there and I brought my Xbox 360 with me and all my Rock Band kit because it was that time when Rock Band was huge. And I remember having a lot of fun, like, demoing Rock Band. I was so good at Rock Band, I could look away from the screen and still play it. So I was, like, impressing my friends. And then it just kind of froze for a second and then shut down. And I looked down and there were red rings. I, like, dropped to my knees and I was like, no! And there were no gamers on that trip. So nobody really understood why I was so upset or why it was a big deal that I red ringed. I had zero sympathy. I think one person walked by like, oh, that sucks. Are you coming on the hike with us? I'm like, no. Like, guys, my pet just died. What is wrong with you? So that's my red ring of death story.
They just didn't know what our consoles meant to us.
No, they didn't know. They didn't know.
Yeah, my story is I got one brand new, and I think just a few months after I got it, it got the red ring.
Wow.
And
damn,
really?
I was like, what the hell?
What were you playing at the time? Do you remember?
I don't. It was so long ago.
Something intense.
Yeah,
like
I was in high school. Oh my god.
Oh, that's the thing. I was not in high school, but I was, a younger man, so I definitely didn't have the extra $300 to drop on a new 360.
Right.
like nowadays, if a console tanks, I'm like, that sucks, but I'll scrounge the cash together and replace it. Not so. Especially not when you're in high school. Oh my god.
Yeah, but luckily Microsoft was doing the you'd send it in and they'd fix it for you or send you a new one.
Oh, okay.
And that's exactly what I ended up doing. And I got another one. But it took a few weeks, which was upsetting because that was like my only game console at the time.
Yeah.
So
you had to go outside.
Yeah, I was like,
That's rough, buddy.
I gotta go outside.
Stupid.
I want to go outside.
We don't want to go outside.
We don't want to go outside.
We are gamers.
Yeah, exactly. So, Alex, the yellow light of death, how did that happen, man?
Let me think. It was my brother's PlayStation 3. I didn't do it. But he was playing, what game was it? Little Big Planet, a really fun game, by the way. I love it. Mm-hmm. And he was almost done with platinum trophying it. He almost had every trophy. And the next day he wanted to play and it didn't turn on anymore.
Oh my god, almost.
And it was,
platinum.
I think, after, so he lost also his save file because we didn't have the cloud thingy back then.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That was really, really sad, and he had to start all over again. But although I don't mind, because he was like, Alex, do you want to play the game next time? Because he did everything, and I also want to play it. So I played all the way till the end, and he did the cleanup for the platinum. And after like a few months of playing, it was like bling, and there it was.
That's teamwork,
beautiful,
buddy.
Beautiful trophy.
That's beautiful teamwork right there. I love it. That's a sweet story.
We had a better teamwork a while back. Do you know the game? It's on the Nintendo 64 called Blast Corps.
Blast Corps. I don't know if I've ever played that. What do you do in that game?
It's like a game with multiple vehicles, and every vehicle has its own powers, but there's always a huge train going to his destination, and you have to clear the way for the train, basically. And one car has rockets you have to shoot with the other car you have to drift and tear down buildings. You also have a huge robot. It was insane because me and my brother always wanted to go for the best. Yeah, you also had 3 trophies in that game, bronze, silver and gold. Mm-hmm. And gold was really hard because there were some bugs in the game, of course. And it wasn't that easy. But eventually we got gold. We were so happy. And then the game was like, fuck you guys. Now you go and get every level platinum.
Oh, no.
Even a more hard
challenge.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we did it. It took months of playing and a lot of raging, throwing controllers against the wall. But eventually we did it, and I made a picture of it. It was one of the best memories I have in my life from gaming.
Oh, that sounds lovely. You guys persevered against all odds. We love to hear it here on Player 2.
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
That's a true Player 2 story right there. We should start asking our guests about their favorite co-op, their Player 2 story.
You should do that.
Yeah, that's
You
actually
should
pretty
get
cool.
a lot of comments probably.
Yeah, no, definitely. I remember one of our previous guests, Danielle, she's also on TikTok. You know Danielle's games.
Of course.
And
She's
she
the reason
was-
why I'm here.
Yeah, such a lovely lady. She was telling us about playing with her brother a lot and like playing Doom while they would work the controls together. It was the sweetest story I've ever heard. So I love stuff like
cool.
that. I love it. I mean, Derek and I, we had our own co-op experience with It Takes Two this year. That was like one of my favorite gaming moments. We had so much fun with that.
Because you two aren't family related, right? You are just friends?
Yeah,
we're just
we are
friends.
pals. Yep.
Best buddies.
Yeah, we're brothers in name and title, but not in blood. But yeah, let's get on to listener questions then. This episode's getting long, and I love it.
It's a really long episode.
Yeah. I'm gonna have fun editing it later. No, it's a good time. But when it comes out good, best feeling in the world. All right, so
Of course.
listener questions. Jed Schaefer of the Gamer Parent Strategy Guide. You guys remember a previous guest on the show, and I'm eagerly waiting the return of that show. I know that he's taking a hiatus right now, but he did write in to weigh in on last week's question: what two gaming franchises would you like to see come together for their own crossover game? And he said, for the sheer insanity of it, I want to see a crossover between Saints Row and No More Heroes. Imagine the psychotic, perverted, absolutely bizarre game that could be had from that. I mean, just putting a dildo bat in the hands of Travis Touchdown, I don't even know if I want to see that.
Right.
Oh my God. But yeah, no, that's a great suggestion, Jed. Thank you for that. And he had a question for us this week that I thought we could all answer. So
Cool.
he said, we've seen all sorts of mini compilation consoles, from the NES Classic to the upcoming Amiga Mini. But there's a lot of good games buried on failed consoles. So my question is, what failed console would you like to see get a mini? Derek, Alex, you guys have anything in mind that you think would be cool to have like a little mini console collection re-release?
Yeah, I was thinking about the question. I don't really have an answer to bad consoles, but I would love a Nintendo 64 Mini. But it's not a bad console.
No, it's not a bad console, but that would be an instant buy for me. I completely agree.
Yeah.
Just because by sheer virtue of the fact, it's just so hard to emulate for N64. So I was really excited when they announced N64 games on Nintendo Switch Online, but
Yeah.
that's getting drip fed to us. I think we're getting Banjo-Kazooie next month. Cool.
Oh, that would be really cool. I love Banjo.
Yeah, but it's just like there's so many other places you can already play it. Like it's literally on Game Pass.
Right.
Okay.
But yeah. Playing it with the original N64 controller again, since I did buy one of those, that would be pretty cool. All right, Derek, what is your failed console you want to see get a mini?
So mine is kind of a double.
Okay.
Same company. The Sega Saturn / Sega Dreamcast.
You suck because you stole one of mine, but okay.
Which one was yours? The Dreamcast?
The Dreamcast, yeah.
Okay, I'll do Saturn. You
No,
go.
do the Dreamcast. I'll pick something else. It's
No,
okay.
no,
I
you
got
don't have
a
to pick
backup.
something.
I got a backup.
Okay.
I got a backup. It's okay.
It's okay.
You want to steal my thing? I got a backup.
Meanwhile, we started watching Seinfeld.
Yeah.
And I hear Vicky laughing when I'm out of the room, and I'm like, "Are you laughing at Seinfeld?"
She's like, no.
She's like, "Yes, I didn't think it was funny because I was a kid."
I
But
was
anyway,
I was expecting it to be more racist than it actually is. It's not that bad. And I feel bad about laughing at Kramer, but goddamn, he's funny.
yeah, it is what it is. But Sega Saturn, Sega Dreamcast. What is there to say other than there are so many games that are stuck on those consoles?
Yeah.
Shoot 'em ups, 2D fighters especially.
Mhm.
The whole Panzer Dragoon saga.
Power Stone.
Power Stone.
Although they did get re-releases, I think, but I don't know if they were like the original.
They got them on like PSP got a re-release. And,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Another thing that comes to mind, the sequel to Rival Schools, Project Justice, is
Yeah.
on Sega Dreamcast.
Yep.
Giga Wing, so many X-Men Children of the Atom.
Guardian Heroes, Knights in the Dreams.
yeah,
There's like a lot of stuff.
Yeah, there's so many awesome Sega games that are just stuck on the Sega Saturn and Sega Dreamcast. And it would just be so amazing to see them come back to life. And I think it would be amazingly curated, and there'd be a lot of niche titles on there because, I mean, let's face it, a lot of those titles that came out were niche, which is kind of probably why they failed a little bit.
Yeah.
Sega Dreamcast, Sega Saturn. I never owned either of them until I was older, now age 31. But going back and playing some of those games, it's like, it's amazing what they did with the technology at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that it would be nice to revisit that stuff in a nice, more smaller, compact form in HD.
Sure. Okay, well, since you took mine, no, it's fine. I think it would be really cool to get a Neo Geo, but I feel like we already got a Neo Geo, sort of, because there's a little arcade one.
Uh-huh.
But I would like to get like an actual, like one of those giant Neo Geo machines, but shrunk down with maybe a more like complete library. Like I think that would be interesting to get. So, but my number one choice was definitely Dreamcast as well. So.
Yeah. What would be your top picks for Dreamcast games? Since I stole yours.
Top picks?
Like top, let's say 3 games you would want on there.
Top 3. Let's see. I think definitely Shenmue needs to be on there. That needs to be represented.
Okay.
Sonic Adventure. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna pull out a really random and rare game. Actually, a couple. There's this game called Egg. It's like an action adventure game.
Elemental.
And then
yep.
What's the acronym? Elemental goo. Good.
Something gear. Elemental something gear. Hold on.
Yeah.
Egg.
And then the other one I would do would probably
Elemental gimmick gear.
Elemental Gimmick Gear. That's what it was.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yep.
Blue Stinger would be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ill Bleed.
Oh.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It's a really bad horror game. It's terrible. Put that on there.
Yeah. There's also a Berserk, the only other Berserk game.
That's right. No. Oh my God. How did I not think of that? Are you kidding me? I'm a terrible Berserk fan. Yes. Put Guts Rage on there. Oh my God. We need that. So that's one of the few Berserk games that came stateside, and it's locked on the Dreamcast. We need a re-release of Berserk for sure. So, completely agree. All right. Well, with that, we're getting towards the end of the episode here. So one more thing before we go. Alex,
Hi.
my good friend, I need to know one question from you. This week, what you feeling?
Yes, I have a new monitor for my PC, and not just a new monitor. I upgraded my whole PC corner. So, like, my PC... all components got a makeover because what was inside my PC for the Nuka-Cola case I have, it was a disgrace. It's like everything that was in there was only for like a few €100. It was a really easy, simple PC.
It was all pre-war.
Yeah, it was a pre-war PC. And now there is like a RTX 3060 with a Ryzen 1 and with like 32 gigabytes of RAM. So it's a lot more. But of course, the monitor is the most exciting part of the whole setup because it's a Samsung monitor with 49 inches.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's really nice. It's not ultra wide. It's super ultra wide.
Oh,
damn.
You can play a lot of games on it with that resolution. Not every game supports it, but I played Forza Horizon 5 in the good resolution, and it's insane. Oh my God, I should send you a picture of how it looks. I think you will instantly buy this display if you see how it looks. Yeah, with like everything on it, with like 4K, and you can do so many things on the monitor. It's not just for gaming good. You can place like 4 screens next to each other with no bezel, and you can multitask really easy on this.
okay.
And that's something I really like. I will send you a picture.
Please do. No, it sounds impressive. So congrats on the new setup.
Thanks, mate. Oh, yeah. Also, in a few days on the TikTok will be a video where I show my first setup, and then I will show my new setup.
Nice.
Because I have that in my concepts.
Upgrade you.
Upgrade, people, upgrade.
All right, and Derek, this week, what you feeling?
I am feeling Lego sets, building them, which I never thought that I would be into, but Nora got a Avengers Spider-Man robot figure for her birthday. The morning after, I was like, Nora, do you want to build this Lego set together? It's a small one. It's just a small robot or whatever. But she's like, yeah, let's do it. And I'm putting it together, and I'm just like, oh, this is coming together. This is really fun. This is going to look like what is on the box. And by the time I was done, I was like, I did it. Oh my God, I did it. Because I never had Lego. I was never really into Legos, but I always thought they were cool.
Yeah.
Like when I was younger. The same thing with like Transformers. I could never transform them all the way because it was just so complicated. But being able to go back to something from my childhood and be like, wow, I get this now. It's great. It's amazing. And I'm almost thinking that I might try starting to put together some Lego sets. Only thing is, I know I don't have space for it. Mm-hmm. Like, I know I have nowhere to put this stuff. So I'm going to have to hold off probably until we move into another place and we get our storage situation worked out. But yeah, Lego sets. They're awesome. I see why people pay money for them and why they're always sold out on the shelves.
It's history in the making here, guys, on the podcast. You're listening to the beginning whispers of Derek's Lego Museum.
Of a Lego freak.
It's happening. All right. Well, this week I wanted to highlight a up-and-coming YouTube channel that I think really needs no introduction for people in gaming spaces. So I've talked about Tim Rogers on the show before. He's kind of an inspiration to me, especially writing-wise. I discovered him when he started working for Kotaku a few years back. And before that, of course, he wrote his own reviews, and he's been in game development in that world for a while. And he's actually from our hometown, Indianapolis, Indiana. Yeah. And I had a chance to meet him recently. I'm actually going to tell that story, I think, on the podcast in full. Not today, but soon, because it is full of twists and turns and that old adage, never meet your heroes. But with a twist. So I'll save that story for later. But his action button reviews that he puts up on YouTube, they are massive, immense, and just poetically beautiful. Like the way that he composes them and lets you in on his process of reviewing. And again, he's such an excellent writer. He's always a joy to listen to, even when he's just rambling. And he's reviewed, I think the first one he did was Final Fantasy VII Remake. He's done The Last of Us. Most recently, he did Cyberpunk. And it was a choose-your-own-adventure where he wrote several different styles of reviews, and you have to pick two to listen to. Very meta and weird and interesting, and I love it. So if you are into video games and you like to watch long-form think pieces and you're into reviews, he's one of the best that does it out there. So yeah, definitely check out Tim Rogers' YouTube channel. Action button. It says he has 6 videos. That's very misleading. He has hours and hours and hours of content. Oh my God. So definitely check that out. And that is what I'm feeling this week, guys. I think that's a show.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right. So we're going to take a quick break to give it up for our sponsor, Anchor, and we'll be right back. Please don't go anywhere. We're going to let you know where you can find Alex in just a moment. Stick around. And we're back. Thanks for sticking around, guys. Alex.
Hi.
Vault 74 Overseer, the official Fallout Museum. Put the fen in there. Where can people find you at?
Multiple social media platforms, but of course, if you want to visit the museum, you have to travel to the Netherlands.
All right.
You know, we have nice meals, we have Fallout, the one and only. And of course, if you visit the Netherlands, you should try a frikandel.
A what?
You should try, if you are visiting the Netherlands, you should try a frikandel. That's a snack.
A frikandel. What is it? I've never heard of that.
Oh, how do I explain this in English? It's a snack made of meat. You have a frikandel speciaal of a broodje frikandel. If you visit, and Derek is also here, I will get you both a frikandel speciaal.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Head to the Netherlands for some frikandels, baby.
Yep. But back to the subject.
Right.
If you want to find me, you can visit my website. That's vault74.nl. Really easy. The website is 100% in English, so it's readable for everyone. From my website, you can travel to my contact page. There's my address information, my email information. You can live chat with me on the website. And I also have a TikTok account and an Instagram account. And also Twitch, but Twitch is in Dutch, so that's for most of the listeners, I think, not something to look out for, because I will talk a language which is really different from English. But my TikTok and my Instagram are both VaultBoy74.
Excellent. All right. And Derek, those gamers, those goodies, those more. Where can they find them at?
They can find them at ebay.com/str/gamergoodies and more. I'm on Instagram at gamergoodiesmore and Twitter at goodies_more.
Excellent. All right. Don't forget, we upload new episodes to our hub at anchor.fm/player2is-enter-the-pod every single Sunday. But our podcast can also be found on other platforms, including Breaker, Google Podcast, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Find us on all the social medias. TikTok.com/@player2is-enter-the-pod. Facebook.com/player2is-enter-the-pod. YouTube. Player 2 is entered the podcast. We actually more than doubled our subscribers recently from uploading shorts on YouTube, by the way.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Now, more than double from a low number to another low number, whatever. It you know what? It doesn't matter. It was doubled. So you can subscribe, follow, comment, like, rate, review. All of it really helps us out. And if you super want to help us out, we do have a patreon.com/player2is-enter-the-pod. Contact us via social media, or you can email us directly at mcpaperstacks@gmail.com. If you have listener suggestions, questions, guests, feedback, any of that, we'd love to hear from you. You can find me personally. I'm on Twitter at MikePetersonAL. And my Twitch channel is still on hiatus right now, but if you want to follow me there and give me some encouragement, twitch.tv/mcpaperstacks. Previous streams that I've uploaded are over at YouTube at MC Paperstacks Plays. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our show. Special thanks to Alex for stopping by and hanging out with us this week. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks a lot for having me. It was really, really cool to be here in the show. It took some time, but hey, we finally did it.
Yeah,
And it was a blast.
It's been in the making for a while, and again, I was looking forward to it just as much, man. I'm really glad that we were able to get this going. And for you listeners out there, we appreciate you, we love you, and we will see you next week. Take care.
Peace.